Welcome everybody. My name is Priscilla Hole and I'm going to do an Osho reading specifically related to the full moon today, where the moon is currently in Pisces and the sun is currently in Virgo. And at this point in time, full moons, as you're probably aware, and for those who aren't, it's very much about releasing and letting go and allowing shift and change to come through. And so with the power of the full moon, you can set your intentions to let go of things that aren't relevant to who you are anymore. And with this card that I've drawn from the Osho deck, it's, let me have a quick look here. This card we have is known as Past Lives, which is an interesting card to receive at this point in time. What I'm getting specifically around this particular card is an opportunity to look at the letting go of who we have been in this lifetime, even though the card itself says past lives. In any given lifetime, we actually live many lives. We live many, we wear many hats, and we live many different ways. And the purpose of acknowledging that we wear different hats during our lifetime is for very real reasons. You know, often we wear a hat that gives us stability and functionality, so that we can provide for our children, or to pay the mortgage, or to learn certain skills, like the hat you wear when you're a student, or as I was mentioning around stability, the hat you wear in the job that you have and or had that is no longer relevant. And this is part about looking at how many hats you may have worn and acknowledging that each of those hats had a very real purpose to them, and maybe it's time to let some of them go so that you can allow yourself to birth into who you are at this point in time. The card here you can see is actually representing the womb and the yoni of the universe, and the hands you can see actually represent the universe and the womb, and then the lizard, which is about transformation and change, is at the opening of the yoni, where all the past lives pass through and birth into new lives. And with all of the different lives and the different hats that we've worn, it's probably a really good time now in Pisces, which is a very watery, very soft energetics, to acknowledge and release them in a very loving, gentle way. We don't need to carry the hats that we used to wear, and sometimes we continue to wear those hats even though they're not relevant to what we're doing. And sometimes as a result of that, it actually makes it harder and harder to birth into our new way of being, because we're still wearing old hats and old ways of being in old past lives, old characters, in a manner of speaking, that make it difficult to allow ourselves to be truly who we are, because we're still carrying an essence of who that person used to be. And when we look at who we were when we were a child as to who we are now, regardless of our age, we can literally see how many lives, inverted commas, we may have lived during that period of time. And sometimes we need to let go of who we used to be in order to be who we are now. And when we let go of this, the purpose is to do so in a very gentle, honouring and allowing manner. You know, these hats we've worn, as I mentioned earlier, are very relevant to who we are now, and they were very relevant at the time, but they aren't necessarily hats we need to wear anymore. They definitely shaped and created who we are, but we've changed. And when we let go of who they are, and we do so in an honouring manner, then we allow ourselves to stand more fully in who we are today. And this is a beautiful time to do it. As mentioned, the energy is around Pisces. It's about the imagination, spirituality, spirit, and metaphysical and imagination on the higher levels, and creativity on the higher level, as opposed to creativity on the lower levels of the physical. So this is how we also birth who we would like to be. Perfect time to literally start to set intentions about who we would like to become. But in order to do that, we have to let go of who we used to be. So it's a beautiful transition time to allow the change, to allow the shifts to happen. So I hope that this reading has been insightful for you, and I look forward to reading again on the new moon, which is coming up fairly soon. Talk with you soon.